Kia ora mai tātou, koe he uri no te maunga tito e a Taranaki, kawana ngā mihi ki a koutou. Koutou hoki te mana whenua, tu ahuriri, me ngai tahi uhanui, kawana ngā mihi ki a koutou, me a koutou taonga e tūtū aki nei, I roto I tēnei rohe a tāua. Hi guys, Wayne Mulligan. E Tipu, little bit of Māori lesson. E Tipu means to grow, right? Say yes. E Tipu. Here's my challenge to everybody in here. I'm going to change and add one word, or one digit. Me tipu. Do you know what that means in Māori? You do it. You take responsibility and you do it. E tipu, me tipu. Okay? That's our collective challenge. Manawatia a matariki, ki a koutou, ki a tātou, te katoa. Beautiful that we're starting to celebrate and build our own narratives around being New Zealanders and the like. I've been given this task to talk about thinking bigger, more sustainability, more Māori, but I may touch on some of those, and then again, I may not. But I've got some stuff that will get you moving, because I know it's a long day. So I want you to picture this: a renewable, zero emissions and decarbonised world. But our role at Aotearoa New Zealand is building the systems and intellectual property to help accelerate that. And I'll give you a little example of something that we're doing. Really important that we start using, and it's good that we export food, and we export beverages, and we export a hell of a lot of good stuff. But the best stuff comes out of our brains, and we need to start utilising our brains a lot more. I know this because I didn't utilise my brain at school. I was too clever. Right? All great changes are preceded by chaos and uncertainty. Harnessing the potential of Aotearoa New Zealand is about being crazy for the markets we want to target. Not just any market, but the markets we want to target and why we want to target them. So there's food and beverage, but actually I focus on nutrition for living well and being well, and investing in clinical data. Energy. Every economy needs these things. Every people need these things in the economy. So you've got powering people and economies. So moving to the whole issue of security in food, security in energy, the renewables, and building systems for net zero. If they say it can't happen, good, because that's just one less person you have to compete with. And let them put their money into the old. Health. Health is changing. It's about the wellbeing futures. It's about ensuring that we get the data and analytics to do this right so that we spend. The thing I love about Asia, when they say it's a health issue, it's a diabetes issue, it's a war on diabetes, they act. The thing with us, let's consult for 10 years to see if we take sugar out. You know? And then there's the other things. Name me an economy that doesn't need chemicals and materials. But if we're going to do that, let's do them pollution-free. So we package all these stuff and we send it off to our customers, and then we give them a liability called plastics. I think we're going to have to start answering some of these questions. Oh, those companies down there, the companies I've invested in help build. And so, a bit of a plug for myself and my business partner, Paul Morgan and Vivian Hunt. And I actually want to mihi to those inspiring Māori speakers before me, because sometimes it's a lonely place being really focused on business. But koe rā te whakaronui. This is a really important kaupapa philosophy for all of us. He whakaaro Māori. Think differently. Why do the All Blacks do a haka? Why do people around the world copy the haka? Because it's cool. As New Zealanders, you just need to get a bit crazy cool on all of this and go on this journey, because it unearths a huge amount of opportunity for us, but it's got to be done right. So ka pū taruha ka hao te rangatahi, ka pū te ruha, ka hao te rangatahi. That's a beautiful Māori proverb. And it's like you cast the old net aside and the new one. It's both in succession and everything. We are in a succession in our economy, right? We need to cast the old net aside, leaving the fossil and petroleum order, right? And cast a new net of renewable, decarbonised world with zero emissions. And we need to grow our kids into the space now. There is no me ako. They need to learn it now. They need to me mahi. They need to do it now. I just want to give a plug for Te Hono, because Te Hono has been a great community, and iti nui is iti, ahako he iti, he paunamu. Pretty applicable here for Ngai Tahu. Although it's small, it is precious, it's important. Iti nui in this context is about being designed to have low carbon, low environmental impact, and super high global impact. So we need to design our companies with this mindset. Why are we designing them for suboptimal returns? Why are we designing them with costs that are coming? And the costs of water, the cost of nitrates, the cost of phosphate, they're coming. It's just there. Let's start changing the game. And I cheated a little bit in this because I used a lot of videos to chew up most of my time. So, but it's just like at school. If you saw my school report, it would say, "Oh, he's easily led." He might have been the dude doing all the leading. I'm not sure. Any other people from the Wairarapa here? I grew up in the Wairarapa, so in Taranaki. So he wero nui. What a beautiful word, he wero. He wero. Let's take the first two parts of the word wero. We, if we play in English, right? We. Wero. What about Aotearoa being the world environmental restorative order? And we built IP around that stuff. That's the sort of stuff we're looking at doing at Taiao Ora Tangata Ora. Don't try and market it, I've already trademarked it, so that's right. I might have a few of my cousins, I've got a few of my Maniapoto and Taranaki cousins here. So it's really important, right? Shared challenge. If you operate in too isolation, you won't get across. We are living in a systems and in a series of ecosystems, so we need to play in this space. We need to let everybody know belonging. I love it when I hear my Pākehā friends go, "I'm going to tell you my pepeha, and it's going to go back to County Donegal." You know, that's beautiful. That's what it's about. It's your story. It's your belonging. We all belong. And everything we do, we need to be able to scale. So it's nice having all these little things, but we need to scale it so it has impact, that we can actually generate wealth. New Zealand has to have a path of generating high-value wealth. And as I said earlier, why feed 50 million when we can't even feed 5 million? Why is 50 billion good when it should be 150? Let's just get our margins and our strategy right. And recognition is about building those systems so we can actually protect. This is done by Taiao Ora Tangata Ora. Apologies if you've seen it before, but I love this because I love the position of Māori and Pākehā talking about papatua nuku, e takoto nei, e rangi nui, e tuaki nei, me ngā āhua I roto anei.
Te pū, te more, te wehe, te aka, te rea, te waunui e. Te kune, te whehe, te kokore, te po nui, te poroa. Te po ia whia ia papa tua nuku, kia rangi nui e.
This is a call to action. It's for us, it's for our ancestors, it's for the future generations. It's time to unite, it's time to come together for Taiao, for our families, for our communities, Aotearoa New Zealand and the world.
As Kiwis, we are joined at the hip to our environment, to our land, our water, our atmosphere, our air. You know, let's celebrate that.
When you go out into that environment and you sort of take note of your surroundings, you know, what that little scratching was over there, and you sort of observe things, it kind of makes you feel more in tune with the earth, I guess, and nature itself. And like, we're all creatures of nature as well, so tuning into that is very important.
I think we just need to open our hearts to just wanting to care about the earth more, because this is an amazing country. We've got all these amazing animals who are producing this alongside us. So I think we need to be brave and just listen to our heart a bit more.
It's a privilege to be here as a farmer. The more aroha we give back to the land, the wairua, the more the land gives back to us.
I sort of think of our farms like a Rubik's Cube, in that everything is interlinked, and if you make one little change, it affects many other parts of the operation, and that's what Taiao acknowledges.
So whenever we're talking about whakapapa, we as people are never at the beginning. We always talk about our maunga, our awa, first before we talk about ourselves.
Taiao is the environment that contains and surrounds humanity in an interconnected relationship of respect.
It's a concept we can all embrace. It's a concept which is relevant to our unique farming systems, and it's a concept which makes us different in the world, makes us true, makes our farming systems honest, and makes them absolutely unique.
Knowing that I come from a long line of descendants who were courageous, they were fearless, they were innovators, and now we're met with these challenges. I know that if I can grab that wairua that they had, we're going to be good for the future.
I think we really need to respect this environment, because it is the reason that we're here, and we're not here owning this earth. The earth is a part of us.
It is time to change our actions and to have the right behaviours to ensure that the voice of Taiao is heard again. This is just
The beginning.
This is Taiao.
This is us.
This is us.
Go back to E Tipu. Do it. Get on and do it. I'm going to be really cheeky here, which is most unusual for me. Aotearoa New Zealand, I see a global kāinga. Do people know what the word kāinga means? It means home, the place of belonging. A creative home for green innovation. I think there's a hell of a lot of global opportunity to play in this space, because what we're doing is we can position New Zealand as nature's solutions grow here. Don't worry, I've trademarked and all that sort of stuff. Just my cousins, I've got to talk to my cousins a bit later. Global transition from fossils, petroleum to a biotechnology economy, standing beside our current ones. And so we know the why, the problems, the climate change, the reliance on fossils, the pollution. We know our economy is not strong. 50 billion is good, right? But actually, we're not a wealthy country. Per capita against Singapore, we're way down. We're not investing enough in this new innovation and technology. And on the other side, there's these big prizes. There's $50-odd trillion looking for green innovations. You've got a whole suite of growth targets that are just beyond most people's comprehension. And you've got an industry sector that is just growing so fast. And you heard Arama talk about that in some of the areas. Yet we still do the same, and we keep funding pretty much the same. So this cheeky little hua, in this context is cheeky little fella, let's integrate 3 existing sectors and find the adjacency around capability, competencies and capital and infrastructure and build a new one. So forestry and timber waste about 35 to 40% of their product as they put it through, as the trees are growing, pruning and all that, thinning. But we've got so much opportunity in there, and we've forgotten how important chemistry is and petrochemical, and it's got all this infrastructure. Petrochemical can be replaced with biochemicals, and this is what we've invested in. We've just done 42 tonnes of dry Pinus radiata, and we want to be a global leader in the conversion of softwoods into biochemicals and biomaterials. And we do that by taking the tree and respecting the tree's mauri. And the word mauri means its living essence. right? And that means we look at its cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. We start looking at its molecular technology. We start driving around molecular technology so we can scale. We build 12 of these or 10 of these in New Zealand. We won't hit more than 1.2% of global demand just for packaging. And that's a low value. But it's a good value because we export so much, right? But we can license it because there's a hell of a lot of other technology, trees, softwoods growing around. And we become a leader in product development. We don't want to put it in a 44-gallon drum and ship it off. This is me. Any people from Tukore here? This is your marae. Iti nui, global impact, Taiao Ora Tangata Ora, look after the people and the land. Build your businesses to look after the people and the land. Bioforestry is part of a whole development of making a bioeconomy which is totally circular, renewable, sustainable programming, where we take the trees or forests and we convert it into wood products, high-value manufactured wood, and biochemistry, provide an alternative to petroleum. Well, we're the Indigenous people of New Zealand, and we have a lot of knowledge and systems and historical connections to the land and to the people. And so we centre everything on what we do on three core concepts. One is tikanga, one is kotahitanga, and one is Māori. Tikanga is a Māori concept around what is right, what is culture, what is correct. And so for us, tikanga is balancing planet and people. And the principles around that are fundamental because people and the planet cannot be separated in our minds. Kotahitanga is the concept of unity and working in unison. And what we want to do is work in unison with the forestry industry, the governments, the major international companies that are made a pledge to remove themselves from petroleum-based packaging, and also lifting up the opportunities for Māoridom across our asset base in forestry land. It's understanding the link between Papatua Nuku, Earth Mother, Rangi Nui, Sky Father, and everything in between. It's about the unity and working in unison with nature. Nature is the solution to climate change. Nature is the solution to the opportunities for New Zealand. Māori has a place in bioforestry which is really, really important. And this is probably why this company is centred on Indigenous Māori concepts, which is we look at a tree from its Māori, all its biologics, its cells, what it grows. We know trees are very good for carbon capture. We know trees are very good for structure and fibre. But trees are also a hidden gem for biochemistry, biofuels, bioplastics and biomaterials, and they are sitting here in abundance in New Zealand. We have a philosophy based on three elements at New Zealand Bioforestry. The first thing, it goes back to the Māori, which is planet friendly, everything we do. The second one is no waste, everything we use. The third one is petroleum free, everything we make. Our model is to integrate and augment with the existing forestry and land ownership. So you have land ownership, you'll have forestry. What we're saying now is that we'll create single bio facilities where debarking can occur and the bark can replace coals. Then the logs will go into wood manufacturing, building, processing, and all of that waste goes into a biorefinery which creates chemistry and bioplastics and biomaterials. That's a partnership between Taiwan, Singapore, and my cousin Paul Morgan and I. So it's a Māori company. Thank you very much. Ngā mihi kia hauta katoa.